G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Spec Ops pistol. It's a standalone pistol with custom sounds and animations, and also included in this mod is a crowbar, which is less complex, but apparently will do the job just fine. So the Spec Ops pistol is based on a real-life firearm called the Heckler & Koch Mark 23. Perhaps it's the American version, so it's the Mark 23 SOCOM used by the United States Special Operations Command. Make it's a close quarters weapon, right? It's very compact, very easy to use. Firing the 45 caliber bullets over the Beretta M9s and 9mm, so extra stopping power from those. This weapon is also regarded as a match grade weapon, which means it's going to be slightly more accurate over range, very high quality parts, and can be used with a suppressor as well, more effectively than the 1911. So the Mark 23 was originally developed in the 1990s and was adopted by the US Special Forces in 1996 and still used to this day. So there you go, precision German engineering stands the test of time, although from the 90s to now, it's not a massive amount of time. I think the M2 Browning's been in service for way longer than this thing is, but, you know, the Browning's a Browning. Okay, attachment time. Let's begin. First of all, you've got the receivers. Scroll all the way down. Advanced receiver, most damage, best receiver, easy, done. Next, we get into the slides, which is a little bit different. We haven't seen anything quite like this, at least from recent memory with pistol mods. So you've got a standard slide, which does nothing. The light slide will improve your hipfire accuracy, AP cost, and the weight of the thing. Heavy slide will increase your ADS accuracy, reduce recoil. You'd think there'd be more recoil because the slide is recoiling back and it's heavier, but don't worry about it. Next up is the ported slide for superior recoil, and ergonomic will improve recoil, reload speed, and AP cost. So there's no reason not to chuck on the ergonomic one. That appears to be the strongest there is for this attachment. Next, we've got the grips. You can have standard, taped, light, heavy, and comfort grip, which better recoil and hipfire accuracy, similar to that of the Deliverer and the 10mm pistol in the vanilla game. So familiar, but different. Next, you got the magazines. You got standard, a quick eject version of that, and large version. So we'll throw on the magazine of the large variant there. You'll notice how the magazine is floating from the butt of the gun. It's just sitting out there in the middle of space. This is reflected, you might be able to see there, in the classic holstered weapons thing. So you're just gonna have a floating magazine there. I'm not sure why they didn't just remove that extra magazine entirely, or just have it inside there, but it is what it is. Next up, we've got the sights, and this is where it opens up a little bit, because you can have standard sights, so you usually see now. The glow sights, just green glowies that you'd see on other things, but you also get a bunch of different DAC versions of sights, including holographics, middle reflex sights, and this one, which is quite massive. It's mounted on the slide. This one is not mounted on the slide, so perhaps it's going to make it more stable and less prone to being, you know, knocked around by the recoil of the weapon and thus made inaccurate. So that's good. There's also options for this reflex sight, and there's options for scopes as well. There's a short scope here, which is generally what you'd find the extent of with pistol mods, but there's also a medium scope, which is probably overkill, but again, this thing's match grade, so perhaps it'll be useful with a long ass scope like this. So we'll throw that one on, and we'll move over to the muzzles. You can have compensator muzzle brakes and heavy compensators for recoil control. There's also options for suppressors here that'll boost our damage thanks to Ace Operator, so we'll do that. That will reduce our range a little bit, but the damage bonuses and sneak attack bonuses we gain out of that should be able to offset that if we want to perform this in a sniper status role. And I've also got an option for a legendary effect provided by legendary modification. Skip over that. And under your barrel, you can throw on an attachment, including a flashlight, a laser light combo, or a VATS targeting module, which is, I think we've seen this one before, but it's always nice to have that a little bit of extra versatility or options for customization. I think that's clipping a little bit with the suppressor there, but yeah, don't worry about that one. We'll go for a laser light combo on this thing, and there it is. Is it abominable? Is it kind of a little bit too much? Possibly, but we're in the world of Fallout. It's not real life. It's all made up. Ah, yes, don't let me forget about the crowbar. So, we've got an upgrade slot, which you can have barbed, heavy, bladed, spiked, shock pack, or heating coil, which appears to do the most damage. This shock pack gives you the chance to stun your enemies, but, it's a tough choice. I think I'm just going to go all out damage so we can get those big, sexy, sweet stealth multipliers with this thing, should I use it in that particular role. We've got a red paint on right now. We can have blue, green, or yellow. We'll go green. It matches the outfit, you understand. And we've got a legendary effect, again, provided by legendary modification. Adam's Judgment is funny. It just adds a fusion cores in the end and extra radiation damage, which apparently, well, that would probably kill someone in one shot. 1,000 rads and you're dead, so yeah, we won't do that, but that's kind of funny. Also, you can stick 2-shot on your melee weapons, can't ya? Not with this mod. Some mods you can and it does nothing, so don't do that. And lastly, you've got grips. You can have no grip, duct tape grip. The grip's invisible, but it'll give you better heavy attack damage. Leather grip gives you a chance to disarm. It's pretty good. And rubber grip, improved stagger. I think I'll go improved heavy attack damage because heavy attacks, they can do a lot. So we'll get ourselves a little bit extra damage out of this thing. But yeah, there we go. That's our crowbar. I suppose we'll show you how to get them now, and then we'll shoot stuff. The Spec Ops pistol is injected onto level list at level 20. You'll find it on gunners, in shops, on raiders, blah, blah, blah. You know where to find it. Go to Clears. It's generally the place where I find these things, so we'll buy that one. The crowbar, however, is not injected into any shops. You'll have to find that on a melee warrior from level 10 onwards. So, yeah, this isn't going to work. There's also 2 uniques within this mod. One of the uniques will need the crowbar for, so stay tuned for that. But the Phantom can be found on Tinker Tom. He's at Old North Church. If you've ever done the Fallout 4 base game and done shit with the railroad, you'll find him here. So that's a pretty penny, but yeah, the reason I've been able to buy this, like, the railroad's dead, so I just, I resurrected him and showed barter menu on him, so now you get to die again. Rigor mortis sits in real quick after they've died the second time, I tell ya. The second unique can be found within Easy City Downs, which on the map is here. You've got it south of Revere Beach Station and just north of the Pridwin, or the airport if the Pridwin hasn't come in yet. And the only clue we're given is in a green truck trailer, which from my vantage point, I can only see it in this direction. See that one over there? It's overturned. That looks like a direct match. So let's go over there and see what we can find. Ah, there's a crowbar right there. Yep, yeah, we'll definitely need that. And perhaps it's this crate, which is suspicious. It's different from the rest. And there it goes. Okay. So it's just the crate outside of it. And I'm guessing, like, this doesn't do anything to the rest of these now, does it? No, there was just something about that one out the front that was a little bit different. It almost looked higher poly than everything else. Anyway, so pistol, increased headshot damage, Lambda protocol. Ooh, very nice. Okay, we'll put that one to good use. Okay, and we're back. Welcome back to Immersive Gunners Plaza. Here is our Spec Ops pistol in first person and all of its glory. You might notice how this is a short scope now with tiny little bits of scope sway, but we can eliminate that entirely should we decide to, well, hold our breath. And yeah, these crows, the Institute spy drones, they're not going to stand a chance against the power of this. Now, there's also one over there, so we'll put some bullets into him. There we go. No more mosquito problems. That means the gunners won't get lured out of their positions. But that's what it looks like in first person. In third person, it looks like this. The medium scope has gone over to the Lambda protocol for that extra headshot damage, but yeah, we've kept the scope on this one, but it's just a simple short scope. And if we spam on this thing's trigger, there's a little bit of visual recoil, but I don't feel like it's overwhelming, so that's pretty good. So here's the second one I made. This one is as basic as it gets. It's got that cool compensator, but no suppressors, no optics, just the standard glowing sights. And it sounds like that. Next, we've got this one. This one is the Phantom. With it's got the extra stealth boy things. We won't do that now because you won't be able to actually see this thing. But it's a reflex slide. It's got a suppressor and an extra little VATS targeting module on the front to help with that VATS targeting, especially if we are using a stealth boy. And here is Lambda protocol with that medium scope. And yeah, the recoil I feel like is going to be manageable even with that extra zoom in, the extra magnification of this particular scope, so that's cool. We'll be looking for headshots for this thing to A, get style points, and B, increase our damage. And I think we've got a, well, there's supposed to be a crowbar on here, and we'll put that in number 5. We'll show it off. It's just got the baseball bat animation, so nothing that we haven't ever seen before, but it should do a lot of damage in specific circumstances. I don't know how the top of that is insulated with the heating coil with the bottom, but that's fine. And it looks like the duct tape is actually there. You can just see the duct tape grip on that, so isn't that cool? Okay, let's begin. No more dilly-dallying, and what we'll do is we'll just get some headshots going. Ah, there's some bleeding too. That would make sense, being bled after being shot at. And I think there's a little bit more spread on this thing than what I first anticipated. So we'll shoot some of these stationary targets and see how we go from there. As they get a little bit closer, we should be getting much better damage. That's gone up to 5,500. And now, as they get much closer, and we get the gun through bonuses, we'll add a critical into the mix here. Totally whiffed it. Lovely. Okay, these guys are getting closer. There we go. We must have gotten a Grim Reaper sprint spec there. There we go. We got up to 1,000 damage with our critical headshots there, which is nice. I think I might be just better off to hipfire this thing in these sort of close quarter situations, because the spread I feel like is getting away from me a little bit. Although at this range, when their torso is filling up the majority of my scope view, then it's probably a best idea just to spam on it like that. Now, the ammo capacity on this thing isn't too bad. 18 is actually quite a lot. It's not as much as you get out of the 10mm pistol from the vanilla game. We're back into caution after all that. Crazy. But 18 is still nothing to sneeze at. How are we going with that? We'll go for a critical. Kind of underwhelmed, to be honest, but we are out of range on this thing. Just by having a scope, we're probably pushing this thing's range out a little bit too far compared to what it should actually be. So let's stop this. We'll get a little bit of extra range back and utilize this version here. Yes. Not much recoil to speak of for this particular version. Let's go to VATS now. At a critical. So here we go. Actually, I don't know how efficient this thing is going to be. It should be slightly better without the scopes, so we'll keep going with this thing. We'll go for exclusive headshots. If we need to get more damage, we'll pull a critical out. There we go, there's Grim Reaper Sprint. Now it's all criticals everywhere, all the time. I think gun through here is flattering it a little bit, but still it seems to be doing a respectable amount of damage. Keep in mind this thing is spawning in at level 20, so in terms of its level, we're not seeing like proper full end game potential, but I still think it's doing a respectable job. To the point where you've got the 10mm pistol that can hold its own during endgame, depending on what kind of legendary effects you've got on it, of course. But this is sort of following suit, and it's honestly not feeling half bad. I feel like the balance here is... it's fine. It's as it should be. It's not blowing my enemies away, but I'm not struggling over and over with a few magazines at a time to get the kills, unless I decide to not aim properly, but... that's a skill issue. We can't attribute that to the weapon mod itself, right? All right, let's go over to this one. Now, we've got the calibrated receiver on this thing, so we'll go for a crit here. 427. For a non-gun through streak, that's pretty decent. You'll also notice the rate of fire on this thing not as fast as your advanced receivers because, again, it's calibrated, so that makes sense, I suppose. Oh, incoming Molotov. I'll say I'm not a fan of this reflex sight. Or maybe it's a skill issue again, but the job's done. Someone here has popped the stealth boy. We'll be doing that in a second, but for now, we'll go in here, and you know what? This is a perfect moment for a crowbar, so have at thee. No blocking. Stupid staggering. This is not working very well. Yes, throw it to the ground. Throw that invisible shit. We'll go for all of these extra power attacks just because we get extra damage to it. We've got plenty of extra health, so it's not a huge problem if we're not getting this right. What I should do is utilizing VAFs. Can't block this, can ya? You're not getting this. You can't do a stim pack. We'll go for a critical and a power attack, and hopefully one more will do you in. Perfect. It explodes in slow motion. Another power attack here. There we go. His head gets knocked right off, and now we can get back to, well, we'll keep this streak going. We'll fly down to this person who's just sitting here making a checklist of something. So long. And now we can utilize Blitz just to get around the corner real fast. And unfortunately, we didn't get the sneak critical there. But we've got Gun Fu. And get out of here, idiot. Go for a power attack. A disarm there. Timely. Ow, you actually survived that. Okay, we're almost out of AP here, so we got our AP back thanks to thanks to leveling up. Great. Okay, we look a little bit more battered and bruised after that nonsense, but the job is done. So I suppose we'll shelf the crowbar for now and use it against a boss later, see if we can't one-shot anything. But yeah, so far so good. Have a shower. We'll clean up first before we get to the next one. Okay, time to use the Phantom here, and we'll see what we can do with its accuracy with and without our Stealth Boy. So 48 and 42 to the head and torso if we activate this Stealth Boy now. 60 and 44, he got up there, so yeah, I don't know what's going on there. But look at that, 6.2 times multiplier. That's going to be pretty massive, especially if we stack crits onto it. And Swan shouldn't be able to see us with a Stealth Boy, and look at all those shots and VATs. That's Deliver a Spec. Probably done the crits a little bit too early there, but that's fine. We'll keep on hitting him. As he gets a little bit closer, we'll start to see that sort of damage roll in. Hopefully nothing else is aggroing him. Oh, according to this, we're still getting all of that. I think the thing above in front of his face is doing it pretty well there. But now we've got VATS and Penetrator is active, and look at that damage. Oh, brilliant. The crits keep rolling in. That calibrated receiver definitely making good use of that. And now he is dead. Thank you very much. Okay, well that was pretty easy, but I think we can try something a little bit more long range. That was kind of cheese, and now I'm invisible. Can you see me? There it is. Okay, wore off at just the right moment. So here's the outfit. It's pretty much Bridget's normal outfit, but with some extra gunner apparel. Got some booties down there, and then you've got a chest thing that has rifle magazines. Don't worry about it. And there's some extra like movement detector watch things going on there, and a hat and some Oakley sunglasses underneath. So yeah, we're going for that Sarah Connor / Tomb Raider kind of look, and not like normal modern day Tomb Raider, like classic Tomb Raider. Okay, look, there's Mr. Wendigo. He's playing with his buggy friends, so let's spoil the party, shall we? And see if random spread is kind to us on this day. There we go. Now, who's left? Oh, look, there's just a mosquito flying in the stratosphere. I don't know why he's doing that, why he's up there, but he's decided to go back to his home planet of Mosquitotron 5 to be with the rest of his kind, because he's figured out that, you know what, Earth kind of sucks because it's all full of radiation and we're not the only exclusive gigantic insects on this planet. There's other things like big flies and big radroaches and giant wasps. They saw Cazadors, they're like, nah, we'll stay on this coast, please. Anyway, so now we can get to freely snipe at Mr. Bloodthirsty Wendigo, and he's decided that he's going to stand there. A most cunning strategy, Mr. Bond, but unfortunately, I can counter that by sitting here and taking pot shots at you until you drop. Okay, for some reason, this Wendigo here, he either got stuck on something or just simply wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed, and I didn't even see where his corpse went, so goodbye, we'll see you next time. Also, check out this, right? So I can save if I dare to put the sunglasses that I've got in my inventory on, and these watch too. Can't save anymore. That means that there's a script running with these sunglasses and you can't save. So if you've ever got a clothing mod installed and you're wearing it and you can't save, that's why. So basically strip naked then save. That's how Todd wanted you to play. Okay, I've spawned right in the middle of them. It's time for some good old fashioned smashy smashy. Eat that. Whatever that was. Ooh, into the barrel with you. Oscar the Grouch has become your name. Scram. Alright, what else we got up here? waster. Get out of here. You are nothing. Nice little sweeping chop on you, and power armor guy goes down in 1. How are we going for VATS, by the way? I think we're fine. And look how fast we go with Blitz active. We're going to be utilizing that, don't you worry. This is only but a warm-up. And the funny thing is, right, since I'm getting staggered so much, it's way better if they've got the rifles in their hands or pistols of any firearms, because I don't think I get staggered on a gun bash, but a punch or a block will definitely stop me in my tracks. Anyways, so now we're on to bigger fish, so we'll quickly scoot over. I think the Blitz running is faster than the actual grappling hook. But anyways, so my alert queen goes down. We could probably carry a little bit of gun-free damage into that, but we'll let our AP regenerate. And then we go again with a full AP bar. And look at this. Even if I sprint, like, look at the speed on that thing. Like, this is fast in slow motion, but think about just how fast that would be in real time. That would be staggering. Anyways, so now that we've got the my alert queen, or my alert dude right where we want him, we'll just hit him on the bum for 4,200 damage, 12 times sneak critical. I don't think I got him on the leg there, or maybe I did. So far so good, and now I think he sees me, so time to put the crowbar away. One more stagger, and apparently he's not as susceptible to stagger, although that one he didn't like at all. Wow, that was a super weak lobster. I must have hit him in the background with the thinger as I was attacking the big one. That could be the only explanation. Anyways, so we'll throw some extra criticals and whatnot his way. And the Mysterious Stranger has shown up, so if he gets his full measure of damage in, which he should because Crab is chasing me, then we'll have a pretty good time with this. Cool. I think I saw 1,000 damage it just pulled on that thing, which is great. Look at the AP usage for this thing. Made a very peculiar sound just then as the Mysterious Stranger was killed in slow motion when I was in a VATS thing, and nope. If I get his health down to a sufficient amount where I'll be able to hit him with Nerd Rage to finish him off, that would be great. It's not really what I wanted, but we'll go for it. Absolutely hammer on the trigger, and oh, look, we did it. Okay, great. I didn't expect him to go down like that, but we did throw all of the criticals in at the same time there, and he decided now that he's going to ragdoll of all things, and I got a Sprinter's synth right arm a bit. Okay, I think you get the idea. So that there was a Spec Ops pistol as well as its accompanying crowbar, and it's a pretty cool weapon combo. I mean, like, you get a Half-Life vibe out of the crowbar, and I guess you could argue the pistol itself, although the pistol I think was slightly different in Half-Life. But there's a cool combo there. Not exactly iconic, but I think it works out pretty well for if you've got a gunslinger melee build hybrid, then you've got a couple of weapons of choice here that you might consider using. But even without all of that considered, I still think it's a pretty fun weapon, a well put together, well balanced pair of weapons. So if you want to see these things in your game, check out the link in the description and wear sunglasses during the night like Bridget does. I still get the perception bonuses, so it's fine, don't worry about it. But yeah, check out the link in the description. And also there'll be Bridget down there as well. Guns and Bridget, it's fun, good combination. Thank you very much for watching, guys.